Got my
so they can
paper.
so they can hear that little bit. I'm moving stuff around the planet, guys. Welcome to the Everyday Sniper. You got Frank at Sniper's Hide, and hang on, I'm moving links around, everybody. Links are moving.
Woohoo!
That's the wrong place. That doesn't go there. That goes here. I almost put it in the stream title and not the link title. I was like, what the hell is going on? All right, so I got before we get going too deep or get crazy with all of this and people start coming on and talking to us and asking us questions and they're already on. But before they get me distracted, I got big news.
What's the big news? You're
So,
pregnant?
yes, there's that. Last week, I didn't realize this, but last week was the hang on. I gotta kill that. Sorry. Just so I can watch that.
Wait,
I'm
what are
just
we
doing
killing?
oh, hang on. The sound of the Hide TV. I was killing the sound. So if somebody comes on, I could see them. But I just wanted to check the Hide feed, so I had to pull it up. But anyway, so okay, I'm ready.
All right,
Everything
what's the big news? I'm always
everything's
excited
up
when
and
you have
running.
big
So
news. You don't get excited about a lot of things like
right.
this.
So 2 years ago, I was watching the Oak Island stuff, and they were on X, and they were everywhere, and they're talking, they're doing stuff, and the Oak Island thing, I'm liking it. I've been watching it since the beginning.
Yeah,
Well,
I've watched it at your house.
right, new
Yeah.
season started last week when we were at Rifles Only, so I didn't watch it, and then yesterday when we came home and all that, I put it on and I watched Oak Island, and I watched the one last night. And I said to Laura, I said, they didn't even talk on Oak Island on their socials for a year. I looked and I'm like, they're not around. They're gone. And it's
Were they
like this
abducted?
no, but this season came and started. Dude, they found it. They're going
Shut
to
up.
they're going to release they found it. So they had a guy show up and he's related to searchers. Direct line, they did his family tree and everything. They had a guy come on, and his great grandfather was associated to the dig in 1850 because they started digging in 1807. In 1850, a different company dug, and a guy put a drill down, said they hit something, and brought it up. The supervisor supposedly left the job, went to this guy, the Archibald family, who had a mining company in Canada and money. He quit the job he was on and he tried to buy the island. They said he found something and put it in his pocket and nobody knew what it was. And there's history because they can trace he was there. They know what happened and they know he quit and they know he tried to get somebody to buy the island and it didn't work. Well, a descendant of his showed up on the island with a Portuguese doubloon, silver doubloon from 1367. That's what he said they found. Was
Whoa.
right, a Portuguese, and it's a Templar one. It's when the Templars went to Portugal and they were
Which
in
is what you've been saying the whole time.
right. And he
Yeah.
had it. He gave it to him. He let him test it. He brought in a thing. Dude, it's in mint condition and it's bent because they said it was attached to the drill bit. And when they tested it, all lines up, all 100%, everything's real. And I think they were quiet because now they did a different strategy and they're doing something slightly different. I think we're going to find this season because the seasons are filmed a year ago. What we're seeing now was last year.
Hmm.
I think they're going to say they found it. And
Whoa.
yeah,
And now they have so much money they're like, fuck the show.
well, but they had money before. That's how the guy had the one brother's rich. The one brother builds windmills and has a vineyard, and the brother that bought the island and bought the land and all that, he's already rich. I mean, every
Yeah, but
season,
now they're like rich, rich. Oh,
right?
and not broadcasting it, then everybody and their grandma trying to just snag it from
Yeah,
them.
every season their dig budget for the last like 5 or 6 seasons, their dig budget has been $5 million um a season.
What are
So
the rules when it comes to this kind of treasure? Because it's a big ass island,
they have
and
a
they don't
metric
own the
ton of
whole
rule.
island, right?
No, they own where they're digging, but the Canadian government threw the rules on them. And so they have rules. And what I saw a preview on the History Channel app for the new season,
Hmm.
they're going to find a Roman coin from the 1500s or from the 500 BC or AD, 500 AD. They're going to find, and they showed a piece of it. They're going to find, because they've already found 4 Roman coins. And they haven't really been able to date the coins very well, but they know they're
Hmm.
Roman. They're going to find a dateable Roman coin to 500 AD. And I think this is going to get blown huge this season. Because I said to Laura, too, so we were out running errands when you and I were texting.
Hmm.
They are advertising on Fox News for Oak Island, and they haven't said anything in a year. And all of a sudden, it's being advertised and it's all over the place, and they're drawing attention to it that they didn't draw last year. So
That's nuts. So
I'm,
backing off in order to have a big boom.
yeah, there we go. Gandalf, there we are, man. Gandalf the micro. That was
Gandalf, the micro.
That was me, man. Although the guys on the
That's
hide, they said that my Christmas beard looks like crap. They called it a David Letterman beard.
what?
Yes,
Fuck
and
those guys.
I did. I told them
Screw
fuck off.
Sniper's Hide.
Yes, fuck you guys.
You
And
guys
then,
are you guys are all trolls.
dude,
And
shooters on. Hey, he's talking about the hospitality at the Cup, dude. The Cup was epic. We're gonna talk about that. And I love Gandalf the micro, but
Gandalf the micro.
you know, my brother called me on Facebook like over the weekend. Ozempic Jerry Garcia.
Oh, I have that picture too. But that's not because of that outfit.
But he said with
You
my tie dyed, I looked like Ozempic Jerry
Yeah.
Garcia. I mean,
There you go, guys.
yeah, you be the judge. Am I Ozempic Jerry Garcia? That was pretty Ozempic Jerry Garcia right there. I can't be mad. It was funny.
I mean, that's a fucking
No, but
awesome shirt. Like
yeah, nobody got
crayons
my
and
shirt right.
marines and
Nobody got my
like
shirt either. That it was a Cran Eater shirt. It says USMC Cran Eater. Oh, dude, that
Bolt
was epic.
Link.
Bolt Link. Bolt Link. Have you ever been to a competition and you felt you needed one more round? Bolt Link. Bolt Link was epic. I liked it.
Yes, it was entertaining and it's a good
Mhm.
video.
Yes, it's very good.
Is
Did you
it up?
see? It is. Did you see my Aurora Borealis look? I'm doing the Aurora Borealis from last night. So I have the
Oh,
green and
August said it's you can see it tonight, but we didn't go outside.
oh,
I'll
we
tell him to
got
go out.
after. Yeah, we'll go after early. But the Aurora was epically cool last night.
Oh shit, I didn't even look or know. I got a good sunset picture, but it was
That was
looking the other
here.
way.
Here is our house.
Oh shit, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it was really nice. And there was rods. The red had rods, the green and purple didn't. So
Oh.
this is my look for the Aurora Borealis due to our cosmic
This was
storm.
the sunset looking the other way.
Yeah.
but this is looking south. And I was like, what in the world?
Even this morning, I
So,
woke.
oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I woke up early this morning. The sunrise was red like that this morning. I saw it coming through the windows. It was like red and colored out this morning too, orange and shit. It was super.
Emily said I needed to make, she sends like little emoji things, said I needed to change my emoji to this. So I did on my personal Instagram.
That looks
It's
like
like,
Jacob when we did.
everybody will make fun of you. I don't think you do it. And I was like, I felt like Back to the Future. Like nobody
Sh
calls me a chicken.
Right. Does she not realize that that's all been done before? And
I walk around barefoot in
hmm
running shorts downtown in the grocery store. Louise and I went to the grocery store last night. It was like 10:30, and I went in barefoot, and the manager's like,
you gotta have
"Hon,
shoes.
where are your shoes?" And I said, "These are my nighttime shoes." And she said, "Oh, okay."
They can't say nothing. Dude, this is
Yeah,
the best part. They can't say anything because they allowed you to self identify whatever you want to do. And the fact
yeah,
that you go, these are my night shoes. She can't answer you because now she's not living your reality and she'll get in
right.
trouble for not living your reality.
August, go look for the aurora. Remember, it's north, which is towards King Supers.
That's freaking hysterical.
Yeah,
These are
these are my
my
nighttime
nighttime
shoes.
shoes. You can't do
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is my service dog, right? Like people
Dude,
with all the
you can
dude.
walk
There
it.
were so many people in the airport with dogs that were like, "There's no fucking way that's a service dog with their little vests on,"
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it's like you're just getting away with fucking anything they want to. You're like, what? No, you can't. It's illegal for you to ask. Like,
Dude, you
all right,
can walk in a grocery store now with your dick hanging out. And if they said something, you would be just like, hey, man, that's my third arm. It's really embarrassing. And I'd really
yeah,
appreciate you not making fun of it. You know, I
yeah. It's
was
a birth
born with the,
defect.
yeah. And what are they going to do? And it's like, no, that's my arm, man. You can't, not, that's not my dick. That's my arm. My dick is much bigger. And you know what I mean? I would be
Yeah,
like, what can they do now? They created such a box for themselves they can't
right.
do anything.
Oh, okay. And I was like, all right, cool. Louise,
Yeah.
like, that you confuse that lady so much. Oh, whatever. That shirt is required with your nighttime shoes. Yes, it is. Actually, I was wearing it last night because I don't change my clothes like with the sunrise, sunset.
I do, but yeah.
I mean,
Night.
most people do, but I just happen to have it on. And I was wearing running shorts. I'm not wearing them now, and barefoot. And I have my daughter painted my toenails. Where's my feet? So I have
hmm
black toenails.
And they're black, so they're nighttime.
Yeah,
You should
they
have
are my
said to her,
nighttime shoes.
say
I
normally
walk
my toe.
everywhere barefoot. So.
Yeah, normally my toes are painted blue, but it's night, so they're black.
Yeah, normally my dick's in my hand, but
Yeah, not this time. So that's
um,
crazy. But yeah, we got it. Like the cup was epic, man. It flowed so good. It was like, it was flawless as far as the whole weekend goes. No
yeah,
drama, no questions.
Rifles Only is a good place because everybody knows that whatever's thrown at them, that's what they're going to do. And then it's social time and it's fun shooting and it's fun socializing. And then people hang out afterwards and chat. I got a bunch of videos of people that have been going there a lot of years, and they were talking about 2015 Sniper Side Cup, and the first one and coming to Rifles Only. And that guy who made the first chassis was talking about his first chassis and then the Sniper's Paradise before Rifles
Mm-hmm.
Only.
Yep.
I mean, people were
Thomas.
talking about things that I just was never a part of, like just wanting to hear all the stories. And I got a lot of them on video. So when they get cut and put up on the hide, it's kind of a cool video historical chunk. It made me think that it would be fun to interview the people about those times, and put in pictures and then show how it's evolved, but also how it stayed true to the theme and the
Right.
core rather than splintering and changing like the
Well,
offshoots
and I
and
said,
what's
yeah,
important. Yeah.
I said to Alex, I should have done more interviews on the live because just playing the live during the stages wasn't as good. So I should have set up an area like in between and had people filter through and just talk to every single person. So it was I mean, it was a learning experience what I was going to do with the lives, but like in hindsight and driving home for 2 days, I think it was a little bit of a missed opportunity for me not to run it a little bit different, but I wasn't quite sure how I was going to run it. So, but yeah, that's great you got them because we'll put them up and we need
Yeah.
to
I got
start.
I got a bunch of them, but really like, one thing turns into ideas that splinter into a bunch of other things. But it'd be fun to follow through. Like I've been kind of disorganized the last year and I have this new structure. I'm moving, have more space, place to broadcast that's good. And documenting things kind of in a more formal medium would be pretty fun to make little projects of pre 2010, you know, or and then pre like between 2010 and 2020 interviews and people that were involved. And then um, the the line for the pistols on day two, because everybody had to be done and everybody had to get in line. That was a huge conversation of wherever you stacked up. And I've been to a lot of matches, and some of them have pistol, but the majority of the people there could shoot a pistol really well.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I mean,
Because
some were like amazing, but
right, because rifles only keeps pistol in quite a bit, I think. So I think people who cycle through rifles only generally do shoot pistol in matches because Jacob doesn't have to follow the PRSC, the Prissy rules. So he does. We always did handgun. Oh my God, she's
well, there was a lot of
stupid as
law
fuck.
enforcement, there was a lot of military, there were a lot of veterans, and so a lot of the people there work with guns, and it's Texas, so everybody had guns. But really, the two guys that really stood out were shooting revolvers.
Yes, and they reloaded too, and they said they cleaned it on a single pass.
The first guy cleaned it before it got halfway. I wish I had that on video because I want to say in 3 seconds he got 12 rounds off with the reload on a revolver. Um, was it the? Yeah, there was two guys. I think that
Yes,
guy was the shorter
they were
one
the
with the sombrero.
right,
But
the baseball jersey guys were the revolvers, and
mhm.
one of them was faster than the other. I want to say it was the bigger guy who was quicker.
And then the butter flavored whatever
Yeah,
guy.
Carl
Carl
Butterfly.
shot a revolver and he also crushed life with a revolver. And I was like, man, I
Yes,
got to get a revolver. I've wanted a revolver for a long time. I don't have one, and I have no idea what I want to get. And that's when it would jump to the lever action because I thought, oh, well, it'd be cool to have a revolver and a lever action that were the same cartridge, so you could have like a bandolier and just pa, 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 pa,
yeah.
pa, 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 pa.
Kyle's asking a question. They do, Kyle. The quickest shot we had at the cup was the B&T Accu shot. You had 20 seconds, so you were on the ladder. You'll see there's like a barricadey ladder they made. You had to be on the line with the rifles only written on it. When you dropped your game changer on the ladder, you had 20 seconds to fire one round, and the winner of the Accu shot won $5,000. And Joey Green won it. He was within a millimeter of dead center of his target, and that it took you had 20 seconds to make that shot. Generally,
The
in the past, the snapshots have been like a IPSC at 100. You shoot it, and then you move to another target. But they do have them.
how big was the kneeling offhand target? It wasn't super
Three
big.
inches, they said.
So it's a 3 inch target at 80 yards, and you had 60 seconds to take 10 shots. And 10 shots offhand in 60 seconds is pretty fast considering what you're doing at a target that's, 3 inches.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. They
and
said it was small with that and so but yeah. And the funny thing is, I mean, the wind wasn't easy, but it wasn't like crazy like Sunday. Sunday the wind at Rifles Only like knocked everything around and went nuts. Like Sunday went completely different. But so Saturday I didn't feel the wind on Friday and Saturday was bad. It was definitely present and it was definitely variable, but I didn't see the course of fire being overly aggressive, and the hit percentage was only around 65%.
yeah, yeah. Well, yes, I measured the wind after the tower, not the speed, but the direction, and I was tracking it. Jacob said, "Hey, what are you doing with that thing?" It's like, "I'm trying to get the direction because it seems like it's going between 10:30 and 1:30." And it was going between 10:30 and 1:30. He goes, "So what are you gonna do?" I was like, "I'm gonna hold straight up." Uh, and It was definitely changing directions pretty aggressively. I mean,
Yeah.
that's 90 degrees. Um, but the speed wasn't very high, 10 to, 10-ish,
Mm-hmm.
8 to 12. Um, Hit percentage always low. I was thinking about it because I'm preparing for doing a lot of competitions in 2026 and going to try to get some trophies in all the divisions. But you need a baseline, and so I have notes on what did I miss, and one thing I was a little slow, so I timed out on some stages, and the other one was just not having any chance to fine tune elevation. Some of my misses were low. Um, and if you're on a KYL and you get a zero because you gamble,
Right. And
because
that's, I
I
was
love
just
that
going to
about
say
rifles
that.
only. Like, I love that about rifles only, that you can get 18 points or zero, and that doesn't mean you didn't hit anything. That means you went for it
Right.
and it didn't work. And 4 stages, I got zeros going for it, or I got the point for the lowest target because it went up, miss, up, miss. I have one shot left and got a
Yeah,
couple
yeah.
points. Um, but that's valuable because it costs you something in that you're
Well, and
like,
it goes
wow,
to
I
show
I could have
why
got.
the
Yeah,
prissies there took it out, because it affected the match, the gambles. You know what I mean?
right.
People
Oh, for sure.
gambling points absolutely affected the match. And a lot of people gambled because it really didn't matter. So you saw a
Right.
ton of people gamble,
Hmm.
and it I would say 90% of the gambles bit people that I
Yeah,
talked to.
yeah. And the way I feel is, we're all trying to get better.
Yeah. Why
And
not?
until we get to that point, when we're that good, it doesn't matter because we're going to hit them all no matter what. But until then, you don't want to chicken out because that behavior you get used to. And I remember at the Guardian when they had that KYL and people were calculating there's 5 targets, but if you stop at 3, it's not worth the extra points considering you'll miss. Like, just shoot the 3 big ones and quit. And
Right.
I had a hard time with that then too. I was like, nah, fuck it, I'm gonna keep going. And so I did the same thing. Like, dang it, I'm gonna hit them all. Um, and But if you're strategically thinking about a score, it makes sense to not risk it because
Right, to beg
a,
off and
a
to
2 inch target, I think it was. Did he
well,
say it was
even
like, or no, three
50%,
inches at 800?
right.
Like the last one was like fucking 3 inches at 200. It's like a man, and it went
Well,
right under it. And I was like,
and that becomes the mindset. I mean, mindset is everything in this now. It's coming down so much to mindset. And it's one of those things where if you were in the actual match and if there's 4 gambles, maybe you gamble 2 and maybe you stay on 2. But you have to look at the situation at hand. And like you said, would you gamble on a 3-inch at 800? Nah, maybe not. I wouldn't. A lot of people did, but maybe I wouldn't. Would I gamble on like the KYL on paper? Maybe. Because I can see where my rounds are going, but you got bit on paper too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean,
Because
I
somebody
know that was
jumped.
my, it wasn't anybody, I mean, they're all my fault, but that one was actually a fundamental thing I had. I mean, it's like in the center of the black, in the center of the black, in the center of the black, just like when you shoot a good group and you're like, all
Mm-hmm.
right, this last shot, I'm gonna do it
And then
perfect.
yep.
And my trigger press was off and I saw my reticle go on the shot and it
Oh,
just went right off the circle. And I think I was just getting too antsy because we were just starting, we hadn't shot anything yet.
yeah. And then we jumped to paper, right?
And how often do I screw up like that? Like not often, but I did it under pressure. And so that's a note of making sure that you don't do anything different. And also, um, it's the reality of still needing to grow and tune things in. Somebody said Seekins and others have been messing
Yeah, the
with
two we
80K.
didn't have very good. I mean, I had an early prototype stuff with the 2 paste cases. It blew my Seekins up. So
Yeah.
I'll
I know I
wait.
still got metal in my cheek here from
Yeah,
it.
I'll wait on the composite case stuff. There's no reason for a civilian to use a composite case. It's
I
dumb.
think wasn't the ARC Frank's rifle? I guess it
N-
wasn't a Gap one though.
no, I don't know who had the Gap 22 arc. I honestly I did not pay attention to a lot of the calibers. I talked to people about competitions, like the guys with the revolver, and I'm not going to use anybody's names because I don't want to. They generally shoot 5 prissy matches a year, and they're telling me how they hate it. It's boring and contrived. And now, as the group, they feel they're going to branch out to some of the nomad stuff because they're not getting their fix doing 5 of the same matches, that they feel that branching out to some of the other disciplines might be a better use of their time because of the contrived nature of it. But yeah, I talked to a lot of the guys about where their experience, because there was a lot of new faces there. I didn't know the group that was like the majority of the top 10. I know like Matt Gervais and the guys from Team AI that were in the top 10, but there was a lot of new names from that South Texas area that I wasn't familiar with. So the questions were, how long had you been shooting? What kind of stuff do you shoot? What do you see? What do you feel? And it's not deviating from what I've always said. And they absolutely said it's a bowling league. Like they're just, I'm like, dude, that's a bowling league. And they're like, yeah, it kind of is. And I'm like, that's a bowling league. And he goes, yeah, we just do the same thing, but we get our fix in of shooting. And it's like, what fun is that, man? Why aren't they mixing it up?
The majority of people I spoke with that I didn't know shot at Rifles Only for the monthly matches.
Mm-hmm.
They were all super, super friendly. Man, Matt Gervais can shoot a pistol good. Um,
Yeah, yeah, they all did. Team
he
AI
leads
is
a good
very
pistol.
good.
Um, and then what else? You said something. Um, oh, well, competition dynamics is pretty fun, but the Team Safari's getting rid of the assault stages because the landowner at Blue Steel. So I think right now the only CD match with really fun pistol is Burris Optics Team Challenge. But Steel Safari, the individual one, doesn't have pistol, but it's still a super fun match as an outlaw. I think we should do like a nutsack type match at Fort Morgan before you go in April with, that kind of stage, like just a fun, you, you know, we're gonna do crazy ass shit to see how familiar you are with your rifle.
Yeah, I mean, we can do a little local thing and just kind of use the range up for one kind of hoorah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you get some of the feedback, and you don't know if they're just telling you things because you're in front of them, but a lot of the feedback, even Regina came up to me after like the prize, and she said to me, because I was being silly during the prizes, I had high energy. And when that one guy, when the team guys came up all excited, they top 10, top 20'd, I got excited with them. Remember, I was jumping with the guy,
But
and I
you're
was
always excited.
I
You're
know.
always high
But that
energy.
but that's the thing, is she came up to me specifically to say that match directors don't do that high energy sort of like with the prizes and with the thing, and she says it's actually quite boring, and she actually made a point of coming up to me to to compliment me on the energy level and what was going on in that way. So I
That's
thought that
badass.
was
You gave
nice.
away 9 rifles.
Dude, oh wait, I gotta make this so cuttable. So here's the thing: we gave away 9 rifles at the Sniper's Hide Cup finale. I raffled 2 of those 9 rifles off ahead of time to my ROs. So we picked 2 names out of the hat for ROs to win 2 of those rifles. By the 18th walk of the table, the 18th shooter that was walking the table, there was still 2 rifles on that table.
Yeah,
So,
people took what they needed, but not
right.
excessive stuff. People didn't run up there like, I'm grabbing a rifle. People walked around and I took pictures, I took video of the prize table, and
Yep.
people were, it was really cool.
Laura and Dave with Lisa, like, they hit the phones, and I mean, Laura did an amazing job. She did the right thing by saying, "Hey, it's Frank's final match. What are you going to do?" And people stepped up and responded. She put that prize table together in 30 days. Like
Seekins gave 3 rifles. So if somebody
3
mentioned
rifles.
Seekins,
Yeah. Glenn Seekins gave 3 rifles and prizes and swag and t-shirts. Like what was ever left over at Seekins, they gave us 3 rifles, 2 7 PRCs, PH3 hunting rifles. 3 weeks, Laura said. It took her 3 weeks to do that prize table, and we gave away 9 rifles, right? 2 PH3 hunting rifles and 7 PRC. Those in themselves are beyond desirable. And then a Hit Pro. And like one of the PH3s was the first and seconds off the table. A Desert Tech gave away an SRS. That was one of the first ones off the table. And the
well, that
guy
was a
who got,
RO.
yes, the RO who got the SRS, he could not stop thanking us and talking about it. He was over the moon. And I know Jeff's on. Jeff was there. Jeff, that guy, even after you left and everything, he was the happiest person I could tell you winning that SRS from Desert Tech. That guy, because ROs aren't used to being treated well. And we gave 2 rifles to them, plus we let them walk the prize table at some point. We walked the prize table twice. I mean, we had 100 people with everybody, plus like just about 105 with everything, like 80 competitors, and then 20 range officers, and then the staff and people who helped. But we walked that prize table twice, and
Yeah.
9 rifles went to beyond 18th place.
Yeah,
Second,
it was awesome, but it just shows
yeah.
that the community there cares about each other. And I do think that the ROs at any match have given enough, and that the ROs at Rifles Only are a dedicated group that are seem to always be there and do stuff because they love Rifles Only, so they don't ask for anything in return. But somebody uh also donated $100, I think $100 to each of them because the
Yes, Casey Belt. So
thing.
Casey at B&T, and I'm going to hit a lot of these sponsors. Casey at B&T, $5,000 the AccuShot. challenge. One shot, somebody won $5,000. Joey won it. He bought lunch on Saturday, so the brisket we had on Saturday came from Casey in B&T Industries, and he has these like sweat towels that he gives away that are monogrammed. He wrapped a
Hmm.
$100 bill for every RO that we had. We had a little bit left over because we didn't have as many ROs, but we had that kid who did all the work emptying the garbage and all that. He wasn't an RO. He was the
Hmm.
young kid as a gopher. I think we gave him 4 towels or something because the kid, he even said to Laura, because Laura was talking to him, he said, nobody talks to me but you, because he was emptying the garbage, he was dropping water, and he was cleaning up stuff. So he wasn't interacting with the competitors. So we gave that kid a little extra.
He was really nice. I talked to him because I dropped my chamber flag, and he's like, "What are you looking for?" And I was like, "Man, I lost my chamber flag somewhere." He goes, "Oh, I know where it is," and he walked me over to it, and I was like, "Here it is."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. He was
It
on
was
point.
hot though. The
Yes, it was very
humidity
hot.
takes a while to adjust to. I've worked in humid places before, but man, just jumping into it from cold, dry Colorado to one, I was
Yeah.
smoked.
Yeah, yeah. It was very hot, and it was unsurprisingly for November to be that hot. I mean, that's when you have that stuff there because you're hoping it's like 72 degrees and not 92 degrees, but it was
Yeah.
92. But I mean, it's the perfect place. Jacob and Lisa put on the perfect match. I didn't want it so over the top to make it hard, but he stepped in Jacob's dog crap. That's funny. Yeah, the dogs are everywhere. Um, but I didn't want it overly hard, but clearly it was challenging because
Yeah.
in my mind, it was skills people don't do in a prissy match. Nobody shoots support side. Dude, you know how many
Yeah,
people
that's true.
took zeros on the support side? They said no, I don't do it, and they just took a zero. Even dude, Jeff Badley and George Gardner didn't shoot him. Gardner says
That's
no, I don't
hilarious.
do that.
I don't do that. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean a fucking comp shooter doesn't shoot support side because they don't force them to in any stages because they want them all to, not cry. And if they make them do support side, they cry. They can't do a
Hmm.
gamble because they cry when they lose their bet. They can't do so many things anymore because the inmates run the asylum. I was blown away. I was like, what do you mean you're not shooting the left side? And they go, no, we don't do that. I'm like, what? And they go, no, we don't do that in matches anymore. I was like, are you kidding me?
This is a
Why?
match. We're doing it.
But Jacob always does.
Yeah.
Jacob designs. So we had several stages that were 3 point. You had a left side, a right side, and a center. From the left side, you have to shoot left shoulder. From the center, you can shoot either shoulder. And from the right side, you shoot right shoulder. There was,
Hmm.
and it was like, it was because what happens if you're shooting on the left side of a wall? You're going to shoot from your right side and stick out. It's like it's like I'm not going to have cover on this side of the wall because I got to use my right hand. It's like, are you out of your fucking minds?
Yeah. I could show everybody. I got because I took video and everything. Well, I
Well, you
don't know that
can't.
you'll.
Don't show it because we're on YouTube.
Oh, oh, oh. I mean, it's small.
Yeah, they'll cry. I'm not dealing with
Oh,
YouTube. So, but yeah,
okay.
I mean, that's the whole thing is that like the watered down nature of what these other guys are doing is insane to me. And people there told me that, and it kind of blew my mind. And then when I press to expand on that, it just drops my jaw how weak minded these people are that they let people tell them, no, we're not doing that. It's like, what? What do you mean you're not going to do that? You're shooting left side. No. Yes, you are, or zero stage. I would have zeroed the whole stage on him, but anyway.
But I just to take that and jump forward with it, I think that the majority of my notes are that a stage revealed something that I need to work on because if you're gonna if you're gonna develop skills that are all encompassing, you have to do things that you struggle with or fail at to say, okay, it's not the stage itself, but there's a fundamental thing that needs work because it doesn't work on this. And even if you're not shooting off a tire that's hung from string, an unstable shooting platform could come in any form, could be offhand, could be on a window of a moving car or a helicopter. What are you going to do? Say, oh, land it so I could get on a barricade?
Right. I mean, and I was being
Um,
serious that I think that's something like the belly or the barricade bench rest. It's a negative to us because we're looking at it from a practical standpoint. But to be able to design a rifle in a caliber that you can balance on a bag on a, you know, a 1 inch piece of conduit and get an accurate shot off to distance is amazing in a way. But the fact that it's a 20-pound rifle with a flat bottom and it's not necessarily field practical, well, that's where you should be trying to bridge the gap between the two. How do I take the barricade bench rest rifle and my hunting rifle and pair them together to make that balanced, and we do it in a way, but that balanced tactical rifle so I can execute a shot that 20 years ago they couldn't. And
right,
we're 3/4 of the way there. But to kind of like, you know, cut your nose off and be like, no, I'm going F1 and F1 only. It just like we always complain like F1 cars, Formula One racing, those cars are so technologically advanced. Those cars are so like they're the pinnacle of engineering. But now they're too big and you can't drive them through the streets of Monaco. So what's the point if you can't pass each other because the car outgrew the field where you wanted to use it? And the only place you
hmm
can use it is in a purpose-built location. It's like there has to be a balance of practicality. And that's
yeah,
where my head has always been. And that's why in my first morning speech, I kind of said I wanted you all to do better. I was pushing you to look at it in a different way rather than going down this path designed by a competitor who lost a point. And it's like, who cares he lost a point? If you keep him on the right path, next week he's going to get it back because he's going to get better. Instead, you agreed with him and eliminated that type of shooting to make his brain feel better. Why are you making competitors comfortable?
right, right. Like that is the fastest way to stunt growth
And that's what
is
they
to
did.
just do what you're good at. Right, right.
That's what they did.
But
The PRS is not growing. It's growing internationally because the Europeans have no clue and they're only half as doing what we're doing, but they're growing it by name recognition in more or less. But to be honest with you, if they knew the reality of what's happening here in America, they wouldn't be down that path because if anybody dislikes contrived, it's Europeans when it comes to shooting.
yeah, I mean, I don't know that. I think that there's a place for it because it is very difficult, very just like bench rest. The
Is it
standards
though?
are
They're
remarkably
cleaning
small.
stages. They're cleaning
Well,
stages, and the hit percentage in a match is over 90 in most cases now.
yeah, I'm not saying that they're gonna jump into a real world scenario and be functional. I'm saying for that discipline, it is difficult to perform at that 90% thing, but we need the other ones to have practicality,
Well, but it
like NRL Hunter,
also,
like locate, range, engage, and also fundamentally based matches like the Hyde Cup and the Brawl, where the emphasis isn't turbo, micro,
but that's what
overstable.
prices people out of a series, because now if you go to a prissy match, it's and you don't have any frame of reference. You're new, you saw it on the internet and you said, "I want to do that cuz I'm local." At a minimum, that's a $10,000 entry fee to go do that well without being discouraged. If you don't like,
Probably.
yeah,
Yeah, you're
guaranteed
right.
it.
Yeah, totally. But that I mean, it's shooting is expensive no matter what. I think there, I don't, well, there's never going to be a solution that does
Yeah,
it
there is.
all.
Well, but if you create a pipeline. See, they don't think pipeline. They don't think sustainability. They think, how do I help my friend who did me a favor last week? That's all. That's as far as their brain goes. They don't think beyond, this guy hooked me up with this, and then this happened. I'm going to take care of these three people. That's all they're doing. It's just like their sportsman division. Their sportsman's division solves no problem unless you're Beretta and you're selling Tikas, because Tika's the only thing that fits within the weight limit of their sportsman's division, unless you're pulling weight out really hard, because that the what do you call it? My 6.5 student gun is heavier than the sportsman's division, and that's not a big heavy gun.
No, no.
It's 14
I
2.
mean, but I just don't know. I mean, and that's why I want to compete in all the leagues next year and try to get a trophy in all the divisions to see what actually, and not read about it, but just do it,
Well, and the
put
other
in the
thing,
work to perform and say, look, this is what it took to perform and share on the hide. Like I'm gonna like
right?
live journal. It's gonna be like a journal. Like follow Chris as he epically fails until he doesn't, and what goes into it. What are the rifles? How much does it cost? And then afterwards, I'll have a better context because I'll
Look
have
at
a refresh.
look at Nick from Scope Chaps and Can Chaps. He won at the tactical division, versus Morgan King, who won the open division. Morgan
Mhm.
King took home a $10,000 check. Nick took home a $1,500 check. He shot the year with a 308 in tactical division, and he got $1,500 for his effort. The open
Really?
guy, yes, the open guy got 10 grand.
So that guy was cheating on the practice score or whatever for 1,500 bucks?
I don't know if he was in that division, but he was in that squad. I don't know what division. Yes,
Oh
but
yeah.
he was in the tactical division squad. I don't know if he was a tactical division shooter. If he was, then absolutely you're correct. He changed 5 scores over the year, 5 matches for himself for a $1,500 check. That's what that guy did.
Somebody said it was more than that. I had never heard of that till Ryan Hay was talking about it that night. And I mean, it's like after the fact, it's kind of funny that they watched it happen live because of the live scoring
Feeds,
and the
right.
the balls on that dude to do that in the first place. But what I always felt like competitions were cool, fun, like with your buddies, like, oh, I know what I'm doing here. Let me show you how I can shoot, whatever. But like, there's even $10,000 for the end of a season, that's not very much. Like, you don't get much other than the street cred of, 1,000 people or
Really? Who
less.
won? Who won? Who won the Golden Bullet 2 years ago?
Beats the shit out of me, but they
Exactly.
do. Somebody does.
Somebody knows,
I
but
don't.
you know what? Who
Yeah.
cares? Nobody gives a fuck.
Well, but that's what I mean. Like, it should be fun to the point where people aren't willing
Well,
to do this.
and
And it's
you
not
heard
like there's
and you
like
heard Jacob,
$5 million.
right? But you heard Jacob in his safety brief. This is just a rifle match. Next week, nothing we did here matters. That's the truth
Totally.
of it.
Right.
Right.
Except if you cheat
Then
on
you
the
cheat.
scoring system, because then it matters because people are still
Yeah.
talking about it. But I do think that, like, I mean, shit, we hang out, however many days a week. Like, we love shooting, period. And we love figuring out how to share it better and think about it in new ways. Whether they're matches or not, that's not going to change anything. And sharing it and expressing it and saying, this is missing those criteria that are very important is an important message to continue to broadcast. So when people hear something like, oh, well, they don't like this league or they're saying this about this, it's not the league. And I think you've always been really transparent. It's not, you don't dislike competitions or,
No.
but it's the lack of well-roundedness of an art that you've given your life to and are passionate about. When huge chunks are missing, somebody needs to encourage listeners and followers to think about a way to start small local things that do have
Yeah.
it,
Right. And
because it's
that's what I
important
said.
and we can't
Build
leave it out.
if you don't like what you see, build your own. And I brought that up. That Rifles Only was the tree that threw seeds around the country. And, like who came to Rifles Only in the early days when there was just the two matches a year and then took that model to a different location, like the Milkoviches, because there's even Scott, Tim's brother Scott used to be at Rifles Only more than Tim and Regina. Tim's brother Scott started the Ben Avery stuff and the things in Arizona early, which then led to Tim and Regina growing and doing their thing. Regina's still like top 10 did, I guess. But you know what I mean? It was so it's the seed. And where did the seed? And it's just, and I get it, people have hybrided it in a lot of ways, but it's like if I don't know. To me, it's the ones who are claiming to be the biggest in the country and the best in the country are the most contrived and have the biggest problems in my mind. Where
Well,
you
you
go to
can't, yeah, the being the best is
right.
not
Right. And
like,
and like
you
I
can't
like
say that and not do it all, right?
yeah, exactly. And so like you'll get like, Pete up at Wyco. He does an amazing job what he does. He runs his stuff. You never hear of drama coming out of any of the Wyco stuff. They like we had talked about early on how you're able to go and reference matches, even the local ones that are within the system, pull your stages and pull your scores. They're actually in they run so many in this area now. It to me, the Wyco League is a great league for what they do and where they are. They push each other, they're positive in everything they do. And they're always working to be better. They're looking to, expand areas a little bit and make it a little different. And they recognize out west the terrain is the star. So they don't try to be something they're not. They let the terrain speak for them. They let the conditions speak for them. They're not trying to invent a problem because the land doesn't give them any problems to work with. If you're at K&M in Tennessee and you're on a 5 mile an hour wind day, half of that wind never makes it into those lanes and you're never holding off the plate. So what are you really learning if you go to a K&M and you're never holding like the last time I shot K&M, I shot a 6 mil 6 Creed. I never held off the plate and I top 15'd it. Okay. I never held off the plate. What's the point of that? And so that's to me, other than getting reps in and shooting. Yes, I'm shooting and loving it. But that's the thing is there's leagues that do it really well that are smaller, that don't sit there and thump their chest. And you got the guys who are thumping their chest and saying we're the biggest and the baddest. And like I said, they're the most contrived and they're giving very little value back to anyone except repetition.
Speaking of Waco, we should check out. They have that new one that is just south of Denver.
Yeah,
I've never been there,
Larkspur.
so it'd
The
be fun to check
Larkspur.
it
We
out.
Pikes Peak Tactical. That's Nick and those guys. I every time we drove by it to go down to Texas, I said to Laura, "We got to shoot here. We got to shoot here because it's in
Yeah,
Larkspur." Yes.
that'd be fun to do. I also want to see some of there's more and more 22 matches, and I've been wanting to go to those, especially with the kids being into the 22 stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tim and Regina, Tim has his 1 day uh accurized AR match in
Mm-hmm.
um it's on the border. It's in Arizona, somewhere near the border.
I was gonna say he either
Um,
uses Gun Sight, Ben Avery, or Cowtown. I think is their three
what's the new
ranges.
range? There's a new facility,
Oh,
and he's
okay,
testing that out on December 6th. So I think I'm going to go to that with the Seekins probably
okay.
and compete because Tim knows what he's doing, and that accurized AR stuff sounds pretty cool. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
um, you get 20 rounds per stage and a certain number of targets and just go blast. Um,
nice.
so December 6th, and I'll probably consider that the start of the year because January has the Hunter match in Raton, and then February has the Brawl, and then it's like two a month. But the Hunters are going to be here first, so it's going to be like Gas Gun, and then Hunters and Rifles Only, Hunters, and then flow into PRS and Competition Dynamics. But I think it'd be fun to go support um, Tim Milkovich's Gas Gun match because man, gas guns are so precise
Yeah,
and
they're doing
accurate now.
so
And like,
well. I mean, a lot of them were there and doing excellent. And what's her name shot mine that first day, and she freaking did amazing with it. She
right,
shot the
right.
Craddock.
And shooting the arc. And I also got to work up a load for that 25 Creedmoor to use at the Hunter.
Yeah, we got
Um,
that.
but once I move on the 30th, I'll be able to load in the garage. So
Hmm.
um, the the garage is going to be the dedicated rifle zone. Um,
But I
and
mean, you look at what Jacob, Lisa, Lindy. I got to mention Lindy more. Lindy's been there from the beginning. Lindy's got so many years, and he just has. It was funny. One of the competitors, Gene. Like Lindy insulted him, but Lindy spoke to him, so he was super excited. So I said, "Well, if he spoke to you, he just feels you're proficient." I said, "And you're not going to shoot him with your gun." I said, "But he's still pretty much insulting you."
we should make a list there. We should start a thread on the hide Lindy quotes in person, because he was
Write it
like, "Get
down.
off my lawn,"
Yeah, he did
and
say, "Get off my lawn."
yeah,
And
yeah. I mean, he said a lot of things that were freaking hilarious. But people, I think they should make a overheard Lindy overheard thread and just funny ass quotes and stories because when he opens his mouth, it's pretty fucking funny.
yeah, he barely says anything, but when he does, it's usually you. And a
It's
lot of times.
snarky and hilarious.
Yes, a lot of times he'll go like if he doesn't even want to deal with you, he'll just go, "Let me know how that works out for you," because that's a
Yeah,
Lindy.
yeah, yeah. He's right, or he'll be like, "All right, now fuck off,"
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like, "All right, cool, thanks."
No, but it was. I mean, honestly, just going there early. Everybody was there. All the docs, all the doctors and lawyers, and all the people that come, and everybody was there. And oh my god, and we were shooting. So Chucky had an AI 22 Fortner. He had the AI
Yes, that
in
was fucking awesome.
right. So we were every night we were shooting rats in the burn pile. So there's the big burn pile was right there, and he had a thermal clip on for his AI 22, and like from 9 p.m. to midnight, we were shooting rats and possums and everything that moved in that damn pile, and like 50 yards away, and it was so much fun and so amazing shooting
And
the
with the
AI.
thermal, the
Yes,
explosions were so beautiful. I wish it was recorded. That was fucking
yeah.
awesome. And talk about your clip-on thermals because those are really
I
freaking cool.
Oh, I set it up. So I have two sets came in last week right before I left, and I brought it down. Leica, yeah, there you go, Gandalf the Micro, and it has a clip-on attachment. So this unit is so crispy. Oh my god,
Hmm.
it's so crispy. So here is this Leica, the Colonix. That sounds weird. Um, the
Where do you
Colonix
put
to
that?
right, right. But this is a handheld unit with a laser rangefinder. You unscrew the eyepiece. It has this. You screw this guy on and lock it down, right? That. And then it just goes to the front of your scope. So we're going to be testing this guy on video and showing you the accuracy on off, but it's more of a monotone thermal. It is so crispy. I was looking out into the south pasture before I walked over with Chuck. I could see the field mice out by the barricades at the 100-yard line, all running in the field. I could see all the dots in the field moving around as it went through. This thing was so good, and they sent me two units. This one has a laser rangefinder, the other one doesn't. And then they sent me two of their hunting scopes. They're 2 to 15 by 50 and 56. Um, just hunters. So really good. And look at that. Honestly,
Those are digital, or will we be able to see IR lasers?
I don't know. We'll have to try IR lasers.
You know what we should do is go out to Fort Morgan before sunset and film into dark over the transition. It sure beats getting out there before
Yeah,
sunrise. So
but it
if we
it has
if we went till it was dark and we could show the different phases of light.
Yeah, it has a day and night switch. You turn it on to day, on to night, and then that's it. It just has your buttons and your things. And then this little guy that's indented is your laser rangefinder. And you hit that and it laser range finds. This thing is so elegant. The only like I passed it around, everybody was using it as a monocular because I didn't have it attached at the time. But the only negative people felt was the rubber was a little slippery, and they thought that with gloves, rain, or anything like that, that the rubber should probably have a little more texture to it or some grip spots that were built into it. But so elegant, so easy, clips on solid. It has a double piece. This mount is really solid aluminum. I didn't look it up yet, but it's probably a 71, 75 or something. But yeah, super impressed with this Leica. And we had it
But if
down
it's on
there.
the end of your scope, the slickness isn't going to matter. But the
No, but it is a
image is so
monocular
good.
too. The image in either the green or the black and white or the green and white was so crispy. I was like, oh my God. And then when I put it on the scope, and I couldn't look through my windows, really. So I cracked my door open. I was on the tripod. I was like, holy shit, this thing is nice.
Well, we could put it on a gas gun and a bolt gun. We should go out in the evening and just go through like daylight to
Yeah.
darkness.
And the
And we
coyote
could bring a
caller's
20,
out there.
yeah, because there'll be so much to see. But it'd be cool to be able to say, you know, here's a video with our phone to show how much light there is at
Mm-hmm.
this point, and this
Right,
point, and this
right.
point. This is what it looks like, and this is what the image is, and it records. So we'll have the different footage.
Yeah, it's I was super impressed with it. I thought it was amazing and and I like the the monocular and then go into your monocular mount and I like that. And so super impressed with the Leica. Leica's, top of the line stuff as it is. Their
Could you
scopes are
clip them
just
together and make binos like what they
right.
said was?
That would be cool. But these are made in Portugal at Leica's shop. They didn't source them. They're not OEM'd and thrown together. These are Leica design, Leica made in Portugal. And wow, they just look so good. But we were playing with them, and every night we were out there shooting thermal at rats. And yeah, splashing them in the dark was really cool because it was
Yeah, it was crazy, and it was so cool to see the just little white bubbles. It was like the Red Ryder video when you shoot the can
mm-hmm.
just with 22s, and that Fortner, man, if somebody feels like buying me one of those, the AI Fortners, I think they're like 7 grand.
Yeah, 6 grand. He said 7 grand. They are. I want one
Woo!
too, but fuck, I don't want to
Uh,
spend that. I have a Fortner, and my Fortner won't go in the chassis because my Fortner's a 17 HMR or whatever they are, and the 17 won't go in the AI because the mag's in the wrong spot. So you have to do a 22. And as luck could have it, I have a 17. Right.
well,
Ah!
maybe I could get on the biathlon team and get one. I've been jogging again. I went for a jog today, and I feel tired. Ugh, but
Yeah, but but honestly,
Walt was talking about a mountain bike biathlon with 22s at Cameo. That would be fucking
that
sick.
would
I
be
don't know
really
whatever
cool.
happened to that, but
That would
would
be
be
really
fun as
cool.
shit to do that. Just, even if you weren't competitive, just to fucking mountain bike up the trails and then get off and shoot would be fun as hell.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna
Um.
start doing the NRA silhouette when it comes to Green Mill because that offhand is perishable,
Yeah.
and I gotta keep testing
Kyle
that
asked a
ball.
question real quick. Kyle. No, it's different. The modern recon sniper. They're kind of sealy. Like think of a seal in the field more than a sniper. So it's a different sort of mission. Um. What do you call it? So. Oh, what is that?
Remember, it's my balls,
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
the offhand
Mm-hmm.
ball
Mm-hmm.
to have a little bit of a riser. I want to see if somebody will 3D print me something that has a better dimension, but I got to bust this back out to
What do you mean, as far
do
as
the
the
offhand
the grip
for
part,
the
or
for the yeah, and maybe a little bit narrower and a little bit taller, because it has to be, you want your eye,
right? You
so I
need to
got I
put.
got to measure it.
You got to be able to lock your elbow and then have it go to where you need it, right? So you got to get a
Yeah,
height. Yeah, yeah.
so I got to measure it, but
And
having
honestly,
somebody.
our battle belts now, if you do your battle belt right, you lock into a battle belt with a tall, like a Nagaline pouch, and you use that to rest your hand on your battle belt and then get the height from your battle belt up, and you'd be money every time if you did it
You know
that way.
the holsters for pistols
Mm-hmm.
that have them here. You could just put one in, put
And
your
then,
elbow in
yeah,
the
get your arm and do like the 550 cord thing. Totally.
you're like a bra, just
Mm-hmm.
have like a little figure eight bra for both arms. That would be pretty sick, actually.
Yeah, it
I'm
completely.
gonna
But
make a shooting bra.
I still, guys, we have a lot of video from the match. I ran video a ton. There's some things in the lives I want to clip out. We got home on late Monday afternoon, and then yesterday we took a day off. We were just like Laura said today. She fell asleep in the VA waiting room. She had a VA appointment. But yesterday we were completely useless and did nothing. I ordered pizza and stayed in bed all day. And then today I just getting caught up. I had to run a mile high. I thought they would have that Maztec or Mazic laser. I talked to him about getting me a 15 K, and they didn't have it. So I went to Mile High and nothing there they had.
They Vectronics looked at the binoculars and said they're broken, so we're sending you a brand new one back. But I emailed Chad and he's
I
like, "All right,
saw them;
they're
they were
sending a
still
new
there.
one." And
Yeah,
I said, "Just put it up for sale because I don't want to dick around with that, and it's too expensive. I could use the cash with the move." So they're just gonna sell
I was
it
gonna say I saw them
as
there. They were
because
still
it's
sitting.
brand new.
Yeah, they were still sitting on Shad's desk. Well, I mean, at
Oh
that
yeah.
point, you already have them. You might as well just use them because they are good. And if you need all the features, you might as well just use them.
Oh, with the move and life, I man, I need cash more than I need because shit, just ammo and stuff. I don't know. Maybe I will, but I did email him because he said they're sending a brand new pair because these ones don't work.
Which I was
And
wondering
I
why
said,
they
well, if
just
it's
didn't swap them
brand new
out
in the
right there.
box,
Because somebody said they swapped out a pair. Yeah, I was gonna say Laura's right. Sell them on the hide yourself and not pay a commission. Because otherwise, you got to pay them commission.
oh, that's true. Yeah, they'll be brand spanking new. I mean, yeah, if they work good, they're freaking awesome. But to have them not be able to range anything
Yeah, but that I
is
mean
like,
they do work. Look at Laura's. We brought Laura's
yeah,
out first
no,
one out of the
hers works
gate.
perfect.
Yeah,
And
forty-two
Patrick had a
nineteen.
pair,
Yeah, that were just
um,
as good.
that were just as good. And I don't know, man. I just, I worry about everything. So, uh, but yeah, having good equipment is important too. So you're probably right. I gotta sell nude pictures, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Go on
Anybody wants to
OnlyFans,
buy
dude.
nude pictures,
Go on to
uh,
get started OnlyFans up, and then do like a foot fetish for like dudes, and you'll be all set. Just don't show your face, and just have your feet.
I got some pretty awesome feet.
Yeah, and then and just show your feet and your wiener, and then you'd make money, and dudes would be all over it and send you all kinds of cash.
Dude, I have a oh shit, the lady at the check-in in Corpus Christi, her fingernails were done up for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Look at these fingernails. Uh,
Yeah, you could do that to your
they're like
toes
they were
every
like
week.
textured. I guess you can't see that, but they were like
Yeah.
three-dimensional fingernails for Halloween. I have a old picture of my feet, which is they're pretty amazing.
See, Glora's saying feet pictures. OF, just balls. He had a friend. She had a friend in the Marine
Just
Corps who
balls.
did that, and he made baller money. She said you can make a ton of money only fanning it with showing a body part and never showing your face.
Just balls.
Yeah, you could just show your nutsack all day, and you always talk nutsack. That'll be your nutsack thing, and you could be the nutsack guy.
Um, look, I got sexy toe pictures.
Oh, there you
They're all
go.
black and
Hmm.
peeling off black nails
Yeah, so you could
over the
be
years.
you could be the only fan fetish guy and make money from the luxury
Yeah,
of
but
your
now
home.
people know that, so they'll be like, I know who that is.
Yeah, but
Um,
only like the people that are on right now, which that's not a whole lot. And hopefully most of these people aren't checking out dudes ball sacks on OnlyFans. So it's not like they could go, I bet you that one's Chris.
maybe they are.
They could be. I don't
Hey,
know.
who is gonna beat me to starting the overheard Lindy quotes on the Hide
Mm-hmm.
thread? Because that would be a fucking dynamic thread with so many people having gone through there. Um,
Right? Mark's and Robbie knows it. Robbie knows Mark's got a foot fetish. Mark will pay you for feet pictures. Mark's got a foot fetish.
I got good feet.
Yeah, so there you go. There
I
you
don't think
go.
my
Robbie
balls
knows.
won't be very interesting, so but feet are pretty good. Um, what was I gonna say?
I did Robbie. I did that to him in a bar. There was a chick sitting next to him. I want to say it was Ohio, and she had flip flops on, and he was checking out her feet, and he said something about like, oh, she has nice feet, and he was like sitting next to her. Well, they kind of like hi, and then not, and oh, am I in your way? Oh no, oh, good, and I go, he's checking out your feet, and she left.
Would you put your feet up on my chair?
Yeah, totally.
Um, that's
Feet,
fucking awesome.
dude. Need a nut sack with feet, and that's even more money.
Between the toes.
Yeah, that's even more money. You got to
I
do
got to start
yoga though to
doing
get your.
yoga.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna have to do something to figure out how to turn your feet around. But if you could get your foot to massage your nutsack on camera, you would make a whole bunch of money.
Yeah, downward sack.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, let's pull it back together here. What are we doing this week? I got the kiddos. I have to take the car into Toyota getting appraised because they put on all the tires and stuff, so it's not appraising out like it should to trade it for something. But that's after I pick up the kids. So before we could go somewhere, or we could go to Green Mill, or we could go
Yeah,
to
I have
Fort
to
Morgan,
set.
or we could go at night.
I was gonna say I need to go a little later because I have a whole bunch of computer shit that I haven't done, and I didn't even turn this computer on until today. So I have not done any Sniper's Hide, any email, any computer. I didn't even write my thank you and do my wrap up for the cup yet. So I need to do that tomorrow. So maybe Friday, Saturday, I can get out if I can get my thank yous in at least one or two short pieces of video edited. So I need to
What do you think
just
about doing it at night? Does that sound like a good idea or a bad idea?
No, it's a better idea, but I still have to get it zeroed up and all that. But maybe Friday or something we can go and I can even bring the sat link and do a live while we zero it up and we can talk for a
And the
minute.
kids can come too because I've got them and we could put it on 22s and if it goes
Yeah.
into the evening, that would be pretty
Um
fun.
but let me like let's hold anything off until we talk at least Friday at lunch, and then I'll figure out maybe the afternoon or Saturday we can maybe go. Because don't forget,
Yeah,
there's no NASCAR now. I can go Saturday and Sundays all day too, and we can do that as well.
okay. This Sunday and Monday well, I have the kids and then um but Saturday for sure we could do Friday, we could do Saturday, we could do both Friday and Saturday. Shit, we could even have we could have a clinic on Saturday if we wanted. Um I guess before we sign off,
Yeah, I'm not gonna
people
sign. You
should
can
sign up
sign
for
off.
Craftwin. I don't
Uh,
need to sign off, but I
oh,
was just
okay.
gonna
I
say
was just
like
gonna read my my sponsor.
I didn't see if anybody signed up for Craftwin last month or this month, but you
Yeah.
should. And if you guys want to coach, I just changed the coaching program to a cool format that's different, but it allow people to kind of come in and out as they want with activities for the week posted with videos and assignment to do whenever you want to. You don't even have to do it that week if you don't want, but each week it'll be tailored to the three phases of performance and it'll just cycle through them. Um, I think that's going to be good because it's scalable. And then I got an article
Hmm.
coming out and the videos to update
Yeah,
Craftwind,
we
they're
gotta
going to
start.
go in.
Yeah, we gotta start at throwing videos. But before I cruise too, I got like my 3/4 list of the sponsors. I'm just gonna go down. So for the final Sniper's Hide Cup, like I said, Laura put together the prize table in 3 weeks, and it was amazing. We gave away 9 rifles, such high dollar prizes, and to the point we gave 2 rifles to ROs, and by 18th place, there was still 2 rifles on the table because the prizes were that good. Like second place took a Vectronics laser rangefinder and didn't take a rifle. But I want to talk my sponsors for the Sniper's Hide Cup. Armageddon Gear, Tom Fuller was there. Appreciate Tom coming, and Tom always invites me down to Georgia. So just love Tom. B&T Industries. That's where we talked about Atlas bipods, the AccuShot monopods. Casey over there, not only did he give the ROs $100 each, he bought lunch on Saturday. He gave a $5,000 Ace of Spade one-shot prize. Joey won that, so thank you for that. Vectronics bought lunch and gave away a laser rangefinder. Vectronics was the second prize taken off the table. So thank you, Vectronics. Primary Arms, a lot of swag from them. Thank you, Marshall. Tony Gemelli with Impact Data Books. There was some of his tripod support and the data book stuff. Rifles Only gave away a lot of certs and things for classes. MK Machining, all kinds of 3D printed products. Ruger, Scope Chaps, Seekins. Glenn Seekins is amazing. Glenn Seekins gave 2 PH3 7 PRCs and a Hit Pro. Oh, just Glenn, thank you so much. Zeiss, tripods and stuff. Zeiss was amazing. Thank you, Zeiss. Mark at Short Action Precision. Swag on the table from Mark. Thank you. MDT Stocks Chassis. There was a SkyPod, a chassis, and other things on that table. Area 419, all kinds of reloading and different things from Area 419. Really great stuff with those guys. I love seeing just the growth of that company and how big they've become. Area 419 makes great products. Arkin gave scope certs and what's the suppressor barrel they have, like on Conus or on, they have a suppressor barrel thing that Arkin does now. They gave a certs
Yeah.
for each. Terminus, and then Capstone with Vitavori, Berger, Lapua. We had a OEM Discovery Optics out of Korea. They were there. They had a booth. Thank you to Discovery Optics. Vortex, all kinds of Vortex products and scopes on the table. Thank you to Vortex. Mark with his rear bag solutions. Mark had 5 or 6 rear bags on the table. Those were the only rear bags on the table. So thank you, Mark. DTS Precision was Troy. Troy's there. Thank you, Troy. He had a great. Troy was he was cleaning up that weekend, man. I think Troy had more fun than anybody. He does the dry fire tools and things like that for your scope. Magneto Speed and Kestrel. We had Ryan Hay there from Magneto Speed and Kestrel. All kinds of stuff from them. Thank you, Ryan, Katie, both companies. Mile High Shooting. I went in and saw them. And Thunder Beast Arms. Both guys had certs and prizes on the table. Thunder Beast, right? Thank you, guys. Thank you, Mile High. Leopold scope on the table from Sean. Thank you, guys. He sent it over. I talked to him. But Leopold sent the scope. Everybody at Leopold, appreciate you guys. Taurus with a rifle. An Expedition 6.5 Creed went really well. Nice, straightforward hunting style rifle, carbon fibered out. The Taurus was a very nice stick. GA Precision, certs and chassis and stuff he did with Manners. George brought the new Manners hunting folder. What a nice rifle and stock. I want to say the no chassis, not bedded weight on that was only like 32 ounces. So thanks to Manners. Again, I brought up Nick and Jeff at Desert Tech. Jeff was there. The Desert Tech, that guy was over the moon to win a Desert Tech rifle. Again, Ruger, Faxon, Bagara, Sig, all great rifles, all on the table. The new version Ruger, beautiful. I love the upgrades Ruger did to the RPR. We had an RPR on the table. How great was that? Faxon, 22 ARC from Faxon. Everybody was eyeing that 22 ARC as a coyote rifle. I heard more people saying, I want the 22. I want the 22. I want the 22. The 22 ARC was sought after. Faxon, you guys hit a home run on that. Bagara, Sig, Griffin Armament. Sig did a cross PRS. Bagara did one of their hunting rifles. Great rifles again. Sig Cross, Ruger RPR, Bagara, Taurus. All these things on the table, right? Desert Tech. And then Griffin Armament, not argument, Armament. Griffin Armament, suppressors, certs on the table. Leofoto, not only did Leofoto throw, like 24 certs on the table for a percentage off, they sent 2 full-blown tripods. Leofoto was like, here's 2 tripods. No, that's not enough. And then Tony called me up and he's like, check your email. Tony, thank you very much for all those certs and everything you guys put on the table. John Uber Triggers. Frank, John Uber here. John Uber Triggers. 2-stage triggers. We had 2 Uber triggers on the table. And then Able. Guys pulled Able suppressors off before rifles. So Serge, Mike, everybody over at Able, Thank you guys for that. And then Night Force came in with an attacker, 7 to 35. We have the attacker. I may have missed somebody, but I have a revised list that's going to go on the hide. But thank you all to my sponsors. Thank you to Laura. Thank you to Dave. Thank you to Lisa. Thank you to Jacob and Lisa at Rifles Only, Lindy and crew over there, John Lem, all the guys that work, Cam for food. The food was amazing. We had barbecue, brisket. I mean, how good was that food, Chris?
It was unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Food was, I
I
mean,
had like 4 plates.
yeah, like homemade there was the homemade pasta salad, there was a homemade coleslaw. So good. And so
Yeah.
I mean, this match was perfect. This went
Hmm.
off exactly as we wanted. It was flawless. And that's all due to Rifles Only. And then all the sponsors and everybody who stepped up. So much thank you. The people I hadn't met before who were there and came up to me, the selfies, the pictures, the winners of all the side stuff like Joey and such winning that $5,000. Dude, that was one shot. He walked away with a $5,000 check. That was
Yeah.
B&T. Thank you.
And he was
And
fucking like so nice. I'd never met him, but he
yeah,
was fucking super nice. He's the kind of guy that you'd be like, give it to him.
right. They're
Yeah.
super. I mean, that's the thing is individuals are so amazing and so great. It's just every now and then a couple of them click off and decide they don't want to play with the rest of us the same way anymore once they're in the clique. And I think that's a not a cool thing. Like look at the baseball jersey guys. They had their clique and they still interacted with everybody. They still made
Those were
them
cool jerseys.
those were very cool jerseys. And
I
and
was
they
like a little bit jealous.
yeah. And so there's ways to do it. And honestly, in some cases, I might be splitting a hair. It's like, yeah, that's okay, but really you could do it better. And by me telling you there's a better way to do it, that's not necessarily the insult people take it. Yeah, once like you give somebody constructive criticism, then it happens again. And then you're like, hey, man, remember that constructive criticism I gave you? And they're like, yeah, whatever. And then it's like you see repetitive problems, and yet they're putting down the constructive help you're trying to give someone. Yeah, the shirts. Great shirts, right down the
Do you
arm.
have extra larges still? Because this is a
Yeah,
large, but I washed it and it like
it
kind
shrunk
of
a bit.
it's
Yeah,
more
I
like
gotta
a
we
surfing
gotta text Lisa
shirt
to get
now.
the spares up so I have some spares, but we'll get some spares. But yeah,
But it's fucking awesome.
yeah, it's a kick ass shirt.
I just need an extra large. I should have
It's
got an extra large.
and so, but I mean, thank you to everyone. We just had such a blast. The food at night, there was so, like, we were there from Wednesday, and the guys that were there for the workups and the guys that stay there at Rifles Only all week, which there's a big crew of people who do that. They live large, man. They know how to party, they know how to eat, they know how to drink, and just the food flowed every night. The conversations went deep into the evening. People stayed, some people left, went and got food because they didn't want to impose on the people that stayed, and then came back and stayed till 9, 10 o'clock, like Chris did, shooting the 22s, doing different things that we did. That's the kind of stuff, that we enjoy. And it wasn't contrived. You were going to test different skills every stage you went to. It's not a one bag solution solves all. It's not if you did it here and you do it here, it's going to work. If you try this there, you're going to fail, you know? And so stuff like that is what I like. Mix it up. You have 20 stages to play with out there. Why are you not doing 5 stages that test this, 5 stages that do this, and then 5 stages that do this, and then 5 stages that do this? So you have 5 solutions, 5 solutions, 5 solutions, but it's not the same solution for all 20 stages. because they're bored. I'm going to tell you right now, dude, your customers are fucking bored. Whether you want to admit it or not, your numbers are bullshit. You're lying to people, and we know it. And they're bored. Do better. But anyway, so there you go. That's where I was with the cup. But I mean, I just enjoyed it because it was over. There was no stress, right? Each
Yeah.
day. It wasn't like a scramble to fix something. It wasn't a scramble to follow up. It just worked. You walked up, you shot your stage, it was over, and when it was done, your scores were right there, and it was easy.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't have a car, so I had some friends fly in from Arizona. And yeah, so when we came back, but they had so much fun that one of them had not done any matches like that before. They shoot pistols and carbines and then another guy shoots kind of a little bit of everything, but both of them said, "We love this. We want to go back to rifles only and do more of this." Because it tested those skills and it wasn't just we're doing the same thing. They appreciated that it tested things that you don't realize you need to work on until you go. And so when we came back in the evening, they were like, "This is unreal! Like this, the vibe and the scene and the conversations
Mm-hmm.
and the people that it has attracted over the years. They just they want to be more a part of it. So we're gonna go back in February for sure. Are you gonna go down in
I
February?
think I might, depending on my moving situation. Like we were driving through and Laura was checking shit out like as we were driving. And I think I can fall into what I'm looking for pretty quickly. So I'm not sweating it so heavily, but I'm not going to book a lot of training early in the season until I know I'm moved and settled in because I need the windows and not have to say, oh shit, I'm in the middle of this, but I have a class I booked, 9 months ahead of time. So I think what
Yeah,
I may do instead of that booking of classes, I can drop into a match like a rifles only easier, and I can drop into a match on a weekend easier if I'm free and I can get sort of the similar thing out of it. So I believe what I'm going to do is hold off on booking class next year and then fill in those downtimes with a few matches.
gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna need to do stuff at Fort Morgan as long as I'm
I mean, it's
able.
Fort
But we'll
Morgan's
talk about
paid.
that
Yeah,
afterwards.
but
But
Fort Morgan's paid till March.
yeah, yeah. But I want
You know,
I'm hoping to push it into the summer.
yeah, he
Um,
probably will let you
between,
do whatever because we got to move things and do. I mean,
but
until
I could
they,
try to put classes for us like
yeah.
in there, and that's kind of not an
Well,
issue to set
what
up.
I'm
But
saying
your
is,
other stuff, yeah,
until they break ground for the solar, I think he'll let you use it until they stick a shovel in the ground.
right, right,
You
yeah.
know,
I'm hoping, and then
yeah,
if they back out of it, I'll just take it and keep it so that there's places for you guys to come to, and then or for you and Mark, but also you and I,
yeah,
just
yeah.
to be able to drive back and forth. Hopefully, you don't move so far away that it's a hassle because I'm going to end up
No, it's
driving
not
to
too
wherever
far.
you are.
Missouri's right there, man. Missouri's easy. That's not even a day drive.
It's gonna be hard. Like with you gone, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? I'm gonna have to go to Missouri a lot.
We'll sort that.
I'll be
But yeah,
driving
we,
like
we I
crazy.
tell you
My
what though,
fucking,
dude,
I gotta not have a Land Cruiser because the
w-
fucking
w-
14 miles a gallon is
we
bullshit.
we were driving through and Laura was checking some shit out. We actually saw a rock star place in Amarillo, Texas. That was like cheap but gigantic. It's like you could have a whole fucking thing there. But yeah, there was a rock
Dude,
star
the guys there that do the NRL Hunter match, there's a huge community
in
of
Amarillo.
local in Amarillo, and they've got a facility that they own, like just land that they do the match on, but there's a huge group of shooters, and they were asking about classes in the area for shooters. I mean, that would be an awesome place to set
Amarillo's an
up.
easy drive, dude. I was like, we saw that place and I was like, ah, because it's North Texas, there's actually kind of seasons in Amarillo, and it was like, oh, that is so good, and it was cheap as fuck, but giant. And I was like, damn, but it's old, but it was not bad for like to drop into a spot and if they let you work on it a little. But yeah, we saw some like really cherry spots in Missouri. And even Gardner said to me, he's like, we have our range and our thing in Missouri that they all do the most. Missouri's got a super deep shooting community because that's where Gardner's out of. Gardner's in
Yeah.
Kansas City on the Missouri side, so
Yeah.
um
But the Amarillo match I was impressed with. And the terrain there is variable
yes.
and they've got wind and you got to deal with tornadoes, I guess, every once in a while. But the Amarillo would be a cool place. That's
Amarillo
for sure.
looked really, really cool. It was like,
And they have that steakhouse
ah,
with if you can eat it in an hour
yeah,
or
the
whatever.
72 ounce, eat it and go. And Amarillo, we like every time we stop there. Like we stopped in Lubbock. Lubbock sucks now. I like Amarillo much better than I like Lubbock.
I would go to Amarillo a lot.
Yeah,
It's like 6 hour drive or six. So, I mean,
yeah, it's
it's
not
pretty
far at
fucking
all.
close. Like,
It's not far at all. You do it
yeah,
in
you
we
don't.
left in a half a day and we were there by dinner. We left at noon
Yeah,
and we were in Amarillo by dinner.
and there's flights there too, so
Yeah,
that'd be sick.
cool.
I like that idea.
All
Yeah,
right.
go
Well,
there.
I'm gonna cruise down and we are looking, but yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm gonna talk on Friday too. We'll see what's going on. But what an amazing match again. Everybody that came, everybody that's sponsored. I still have the complete thank yous to do on the hide. I have to write it all up. So I'm behind, but I'm fried a little too. I needed a day off or two. And so yeah, I'm ready to roll now and then we'll go this weekend and hit the range and film some stuff and do the thermals and some other things and stuff, but it was
Oh, the
it
kids
was
will eat that up. They even Louise was like, "Dad, let's go shooting. Let's go shooting." I
yeah,
was like, "All
yeah.
right, cool. Let me talk to Frank." And August like,
Well,
he doesn't
and
care what we do as long as you're there. He's like, "Let's go see Frank." I'm like,
yeah,
"Okay."
and with the nice thing is I'll set up one thermal and mount it and the other one will keep handheld and so we can mount one on a tripod handheld and they can look.
Can you mount it on a camera?
Yeah, I would bet if you could. Yeah, because as long as you can get the adapter to fit, you could.
That would be pretty cool. I mean, I know they record themselves, but it would be cool to have it on something that we could,
I
you
I
know,
if I can get a small enough lens that'll do the 56, I can slide the 56 over it and then lock it down and put the lens, but I bet you 99% sure I could.
that would be cool because then we'd have double with scope and camera for
Mhm.
footage. That'd be freaking awesome.
Yeah, let me just see
I
what
gotta take this
lenses
too
I
hot in here.
have and I'll bet you I could. Yeah, we did the same thing. But
All
everybody
right,
thank
Friday or Saturday, it's on.
Yeah, yeah, we'll
Day
we'll,
the
we'll
night.
talk. And so, thank you guys. And like I said, I have more to talk about. I have video. I have all kinds of stuff. But what an amazing weekend! What an amazing finale. The Snipers Hide Cup went away exactly how it should. So to Jacob and Lisa and all them, thank you down there at Rifles Only. They did it exactly right, just like they did 20 years ago. When he brought me down, he's like, "You need to do this." I'm like, "Okay, let me go look." And when I went down there, my jaw was on the ground. Well, I had to pick my jaw up again because of how this weekend went, and so,
And the mover, we didn't even talk about the mover that starts and stops.
oh yeah, we there was Jacob
That
has
fucking
5
thing.
movers now. Jacob has 5 movers, and he has one that does craziness. So multiple movers were going at the same time. Apparently, if you do the 22 matches there, the movers are next level because they go all directions. And he has like a shitload of 22 movers too. So the
Hmm.
22 matches, they say the mover system is crazy. But yeah, the movers at Rifles Only, that's Moving Chaos. Moving Chaos is mover at 400, hit it when it comes out, and then 200, 300, 550, and then hit the mover before it comes back in. That's Moving
We
Chaos.
got to figure out, we got to put one that's like, 10 to 20 miles an hour and it starts at 300 and it just shoots away from you to 1,000. Just
Mm,
and then you're like, okay, shit. All right,
I have
hold up,
that. I
hold up,
have
hold up.
I have the cable one. If we can string a cable, I have the one that goes on a cable, the mover.
It would be sick to have it like, with elevation too, or if it was
Hmm.
diagonal, like, 300 here, but 800 there, and it goes
It
away.
you could mount a cable to the tower, to the two towers. Just mount a wire cable high to the two towers. We can hang the mover on it and run them between the two towers, and it'll go because it'll go as far as you have a cable.
That'd be so sick. We
Yeah,
should do that.
we can run it.
At least for a video. That'd be
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
awesome.
we can run it. I mean, I wouldn't show that we're hanging them on the towers because they might cry we're touching their tower.
But you wouldn't see if we zoomed in, it would just be cables. Yeah.
It would just be
Nobody's
long
looking,
cable.
so
But yeah, we
we just
have.
climb up and clamp it on. That'd be
Yeah,
fucking awesome.
totally. All right, guys. Thanks everybody for being on. Thank you all. Appreciate you. I'm not traveling until December, so I'll be doing a bunch more lives during the week. I plan on doing Wednesday, probably Friday nights, and then Sunday morning will be my schedule. If we're not doing something out if we do go out at night, I'll probably fire a live up. But Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday will most likely be my live schedule while I'm home, and I'm home. So appreciate all you guys and everybody who's been on and watching and paying attention with all that. So thank you guys.
I
You
wonder if
got
we could
anything?
do another Red Rider kind of thing with Louise in August, because we have the pink one and the other one.
Oh, we
Anyway, we'll
totally
talk about
can.
it.
Yeah, we totally can.
Um, that would be pretty sick at sunset. Be like a Western.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm here on the lives, and so I'm just
Hit us
psyched
up.
to
And there are
be here. And
videos on High TV. I did go live and let the camera run on stages. You can watch a moving chaos stage. You can watch a culvert stage. You can watch a couple stages on the Hyde. I did go live. The only thing that I felt with the lives, I need to mic people and I should do more interviews. I didn't do enough
I'll
interviews
get
on
the
the
interviews up in the
and
next 48 hours. They'll all be up on High
okay,
TV.
cool. Yeah, yeah. And so we did get them. I just it's a process, right? I'm learning, but
Mhm.
everything worked really well. I had one drop in the middle of my speech. I got to try to pull it. I gave a little speech and I got teary eyed, but
It
and
was such a good one too.
I know, and I had Vimeo drop on me in the middle of it. Vimeo killed me. I was so
All
pissed.
right,
I
my
was like,
kids are starting to
all right, man.
MMA each other. So
Yep, yep.
I'll
I'm
see you
out.
guys. We'll talk
Later.
and we'll do it Friday, Saturday, and everything will be good. Let's brainstorm Ridge Rider.
Red Rider, Red Rider. Later.